Welcome to the West Virginia Media Lab podcast, everyone. Today we're diving into something that, maybe doesn't sound all that exciting at first. We're talking about a visit to a small one-stoplight town, the kind right here in West Virginia.
Yeah.
What comes to mind for you when you picture one of these places? Like, I don't know, maybe you think about quiet streets, a slower pace of life, not a whole lot going on, at least on the surface.
Right. And that's kind of the image a lot of folks have, I think, this, quaint stillness. But I think what's so interesting is when you actually start hearing from people who've spent time in these towns, their experiences are a lot more, well, surprising. There's a lot more depth to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really makes you think venturing off the beaten path, going to one of these places could be a really rewarding experience. And it's not just about passing through. It's about really slowing down and noticing the unique charm these towns have. And that's kind of what we want to get into today. What makes a visit to one of these towns so unexpectedly valuable? Maybe even inspire you to go check one out yourself. I love that.
So to start off, maybe we can talk about that contrast between expectation and reality. Like you were saying, you might picture a town with not a whole lot happening, maybe a few closed-up shops, almost stuck in time kind of a vibe.
Right. And that can be part of the appeal too. But yeah, that's definitely a common perception.
But the reality is, from what we're seeing, there's actually a lot more going on. You hear about a vibrant local life, businesses with so much character, and the communities, man, they're genuinely welcoming to outsiders. You just don't get that everywhere.
You really don't. And it's not just about being friendly. It's like a genuine interest in getting to know you.
Yeah. I read this one story about a shop that was a hardware store, but it was also a little museum, and you could even get a haircut there.
Oh, wow.
Like, what does that tell you about a town?
That is amazing. It really speaks to that ingenuity you find in smaller towns and that strong sense of community. Like, they're figuring out ways to make things work and to keep everything they need right there in town. Yeah, you're not going to see a place like that in a big city. And it's not just practical, right? It creates this really cool hub where everybody kind of comes together. And then, of course, we got to talk about the food. I keep hearing about the pies.
The pies. Oh, man, they're legendary. Every time someone talks about visiting one of these small towns, the homemade food, especially the pies, comes up. They're like life-changing.
Right. I'm starting to get hungry just thinking about it. Like, what's the secret? Is it the ingredients, the recipes?
I think it's got to be a combination of things. Like, maybe they're using local ingredients or these old family recipes that have been passed down for generations. There's just a level of care and attention that you don't always find in a bigger, faster-paced environment.
Makes sense. And that kind of leads into the whole thing about the pace of life, right? It seems like such a big difference compared to like the hustle and bustle of a city. It's almost like the towns themselves are encouraging you to just slow down, take a breath, and really look around.
Yeah, exactly. It's that slower rhythm that's so important. I think in our everyday lives, we're so used to going a million miles an hour that we just don't have time to appreciate the small things. And these small towns, they offer a chance to kind of reset and recalibrate. Like, you can actually savor a conversation or really take in the beauty of nature or, that amazing slice of pie.
Totally. And it's not just about being mindful. It's like it actually fosters these deeper interactions with people. It's not just a quick transaction at the store. It's a chance to really connect with someone.
Yeah.
And I read these stories about visitors just striking up conversations with locals that turn into real friendships. It's wild.
That is so cool. And it goes back to that strong sense of community we talked about, right? People have time for each other. They want to help out. They want to share their stories. Visitors are welcomed in as, temporary members of the community. It's really special.
It's like the warmth of the people is what makes these towns so special.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
And it's the locals too, right? They have all the inside knowledge. They can tell you about the hidden gems, the best spots to eat, all the stuff you wouldn't find in a guidebook.
It's like having your own personal tour guide who's passionate about their town.
Yeah.
You're getting the real deal,
Right. And, it's not like there's nothing to do in these towns either. We talked about that hardware store / museum / barber shop, but there are also places like the Gilmer County Historical Society. Imagine all the stories and history you can learn about in a place like that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just some dusty old museum either. You're actually getting a glimpse into the heart of the community, understanding its roots. And then you've got places like the Folk Festival Museum, which celebrates the whole cultural heritage of Appalachia. There's a lot to discover.
For sure. And we can't forget about the natural beauty that surrounds these towns. Many of them are tucked away in these stunning landscapes.
Right.
Like Cedar Creek State Park, for example. You can go hiking, relax by the lake. It's such a peaceful way to connect with nature.
And that's another big part of it, right? That
Mhm.
connection to nature is woven into the whole experience. It's about taking your time, appreciating the little details, and just finding a sense of calm you don't get in the city.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about the pies, but I want to circle back to the food scene as a whole, because it sounds like a huge draw for
Oh,
visitors.
definitely.
It's not just your typical restaurant fare. It's like authentic homemade cooking that reflects the flavors of the region.
Hmm.
Like there's this place called the Smokehouse BBQ, and then the Common Place, the Pizza Barn, the Glenville Pub. I mean, the names alone sound so inviting.
Right. And they all offer something unique and local. I mean, slow smoked barbecue, fresh baked pastries, hand tossed pizzas, local craft beers. It's all about quality and that local character.
And I love the idea of starting your day with coffee by the river at Riverbend Cafe. It just sounds so peaceful.
Oh, yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not just about filling your stomach right. It's about the whole experience of savoring the flavors, enjoying the atmosphere of these local places.
Yeah.
And a lot of them use local ingredients, so you're really getting a taste of the region.
That's so cool. So, okay, but it sounds like these visits are about more than just the attractions and the food, right? It's like it
Yeah,
actually has a deeper impact on people.
absolutely. You know, we talk about slowing down and appreciating the little things, but it seems like it goes even deeper than that. People talk about feeling more connected, more grounded, like they're recharging their batteries in a way they can't anywhere else.
It's like it shifts your perspective.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just checking things off a list. You're creating these real, authentic memories that stay with you.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to that phrase, slower doesn't mean lesser, it means deeper.
That is such a good way to put it.
It challenges the way we think about, well, everything really. We're so used to equating a faster pace and more activity with a better experience. But these towns show us that slowing down, connecting with people, and appreciating local culture can actually lead to something so much more meaningful.
It's like a reminder that sometimes the best things in life are the simple things, and that taking the time to really connect with a place and its people can be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah. It makes you think about what we truly value in a travel experience, right?
Right.
Is it about seeing as much as possible, or is it about really immersing yourself in a place and connecting with it on a deeper level?
Hmm. You know, to kind of bring this all together, we got this really cool glimpse into a potential weekend itinerary in Glenville, West Virginia. It's the perfect example of that one stoplight town charm.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
So, the itinerary suggests starting your Friday by arriving in Glenville, checking into the Glenville Inn, and then just taking a walk down Main Street to soak up the atmosphere. Maybe stopping by the Gilmer County Historical Society to learn a little bit about the town's history, and then, of course, grabbing some delicious barbecue at the smokehouse.
I love it. It's such a relaxed start to the weekend. It's not about rushing around. It's about easing into the experience and starting to connect with the town.
Exactly. And then Saturday is a mix of everything. So you start with fresh pastries and coffee at the Common Place, then head over to Cedar Creek State Park for some outdoor time, a hike, maybe just relax by the lake.
Sounds perfect.
And then grab a casual lunch at the Pizza Barn, spend the afternoon exploring the Folk Festival Museum, and then wrap up the day with dinner and drinks at the Glenville Pub.
It's the perfect balance of activity and relaxation, and it really showcases everything the town has to offer, from local food and culture to stunning natural beauty.
And then Sunday, you ease into the day with sunrise coffee by the river at Riverbend Cafe, hit up the Gilmer County Farmers Market to meet some local producers and maybe pick up some goodies to take home, and then, head back, hopefully feeling refreshed and inspired.
I love that they included the farmers market in the itinerary. It's such a great way to end the trip. You get to connect with the community one last time and take a piece of that experience home with you.
So as we wrap up our exploration of these small towns, it's clear that they offer something truly special. It's that unexpected charm, the slower pace of life, the genuine warmth of the people. It's all about embracing those simple pleasures and creating lasting memories.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most rewarding experiences are the ones that take us off the beaten path and allow us to connect with a place and its people on a deeper level. And these small towns, they're full of those moments.
Absolutely. It really makes you think, in a world that's constantly pushing us to go bigger and faster, maybe we're missing out on the beauty of slowing down and truly experiencing a place. Like these one stoplight towns in West Virginia, it's about venturing off the beaten path and discovering the real, authentic moments that make life so rich.
And maybe, just maybe, those quieter moments are the ones that stay with us the longest.
I think you might be right about that. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And to all our listeners, we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. The West Virginia Media Lab is all about celebrating our state and its people, businesses, stories, news, and folklore. If you love West Virginia like we do, be sure to comment below, then subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to stay connected. Until next time, stay wild, wonderful, West Virginia.